What would rock bottom look like for your association? How about your reserves being 15% funded and you're staring down the double barrel of a major special assessment? This is where one of our clients was when we first met them. Let's dive into the next 13 years of their journey, however, to see what steady progress can accomplish. I know you're going to get a lot out of this story. Then we have third example, I'm going to call steady progress. And this one is a condo association. It's one that was in my personal portfolio for many years. I've been on site at this property many times, a little over 100 units, built in 65, so older association, converted from apartments initially, and one pool, 2 elevators, regular reserve size for many, many years, $1.3 million annual budget. So that's, again, for a much smaller association. Home values here, depending on where the home was located in the association, anywhere from 800 to 1.2 million. What do we see? Okay, same kind of pattern of with site visits, with no site visits in between. They took a break here in 2010, you can see, but from this point forward, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, nice pattern of that 3-year recommended best practice cycle, with site visit, no site visits. And just to clarify, the with site visit is what's recommended in best practice every 3rd year. And a no site visit is just icing on the cake. It is so inexpensive, and it's a great product to be able to get that in between guidance in those years in between the on-site inspection. So it's a little plug for that being just a good idea. Now, percent funded. Look at this through the years. What's the trend that you see? Well, they started out in a hole. They started out in critical care unit, and we were able to help guide them, move them forward. They got some traction, and they are making steady progress. 30s, 40s, high 30s, 40s, 60s, high 70s, right around 70, high 89, a little bit of dropping. So their percent funded is meandering a little bit. We tend to call the percent funded a sawtooth, okay? And so it does tend to wiggle a little bit. It meanders a little bit. So that's another reason to think about momentum. Stay the course. Don't have too heavy of a hand on the helm, and just move the association forward, guiding it forward. We're talking about a place with a pretty healthy budget here, and you don't want to be too strong-handed on this. Okay? Now we look at the recommended funding. Look how consistent this has been through the years. A couple $100,000, a little under a couple $100,000, a little over, and then the last couple of years, $250. So that was 25% jump almost. So yeah, inflation is real. The roof costs what it costs, the paint costs what it costs, the carpet costs what it costs. You can't dodge that. Wishful thinking is not going to help. And watch here, you can see back when they were 15% funded, we recommended $200,000. They couldn't quite get there. So there's a little bit of drag in their feet, but they finally were able to get on board. And there's a lot of following our recommendation going on here and following our recommendation going on here. As far as dollars per home, $1,905. I know the number of units, $150 or so per home. So $150 or so per home per month. And again, this is a condo. That's $150 is not a lot to pay to get all your common areas taken care of. And then let me show one more thing here. They had a special assessment. Back when they were 15% funded, they were in deep trouble. Had a lot of projects to do, not enough money to do it. And so we had to recommend a special assessment at that time. Now, what's the contrast between this association and the first example that I showed a few minutes ago? First example was ending with a special assessment. Their decisions led to a special assessment. This association, they got the message, they increased their funding, they passed a special assessment, and look where they are now. They are well funded. So it can be done. Sometimes it just takes some courage and some time to implement the plan, and you can get it done. So what did we learn here? They woke up and smelled the coffee. The board said, this is not good. Special assessments are bad. And they hung in there for the long term, appreciating the momentum factor. Their reserve funding has been between 20 and 25% of their total budget. And their current reserve funding, I just did that calculation, $150 a month, 5 and some change per day, which is about the cost of a premium coffee. So reserve funding, even in a condominium association with significant common areas, major mechanical, carpeted hallways, all that kind of stuff, it's about the cost of a premium cup of coffee. It is not too expensive to do what you need to do to maximize owner experience, maximize curb appeal, and maximize property values. It's very much within your grasp. Just a matter of having the courage and staying the course. All right, well, let me spend just a couple of minutes here drawing this webinar to a close. What do I want to say? What are the lessons learned? Well, every association faces a formidable, unstoppable adversary, and that's deterioration. The board has all the power it needs to get things done. And my challenge here is that you have that power and you get to choose the future of your association. Managers here on the webinar, you get to encourage, you get to push, you get to remind the board, you get to do everything you can to help them. But indeed, they are the ones that make the decisions. It's their home. The reason you care is because special assessments are real, expenses are real. That was part of the 4 reserve rules. And if you don't do them on time, it just gets worse. They don't go away. And you can see special assessments coming typically years in advance by your trajectory. The numbers don't lie. Special assessments are real. There is a real cost to owning a home in a community association. And the common areas handle a lot of the shared expenses, but the board has to be truthful and honest about what are those expenses. And you can see the mileage here on a new car, 13 to 17 miles per gallon. It's probably like a Chevy Suburban or something like that. When you're funding reserves, you are appreciating the true cost of ownership. Everyone's paying their fair share. You're not going to surprise anyone with a special assessment. Owners have an honest understanding of what it costs to live in the association. Things get done on time. And again, curb appeal is there. Owner enjoyment is there. Property values are maximized. And I don't want anyone throwing up their hands saying, well, we can't do that. Well, the numbers are that about 30% of associations have a strong reserve fund. That's 70% funded or more. You can see the trends that I've shown here today. You can start somewhere low and you can get to over the 70% range. So join them. It's just the trouble associations that make the news that we worry about. And yeah, those associations are real, but you have the ability to join the strong reserve funds, make a budget change, and apply the multi-year effect, follow the momentum, and you'll enjoy better things happening at your association. Okay, much more that is available on our website, written resources, video resources. It's www.reservestudy.com. Scroll to the bottom of any page and you can sign up for our email list that gives you notifications of webinars like this. And at the very top right of our homepage is a button you can click if you want a proposal for your association, if you want to get us on your team. And you can also go to YouTube where you can see a deep library of our video resources. Sometimes they're full webinars, sometimes they're broken down portions of webinars. Give them a like, subscribe to our channel, and enjoy the free resources that we have there. And if you want to get your fingers into your numbers, if you want to play with things, move things around, wonder what happens if, and design your own customized tweaks to the reserve study, we have this online tool. It's called uPlanIt. It's just basically an online reserve calculator. All calculations are per National Reserve Study standards. You don't have to worry about, are the formulas in my Excel or spreadsheet file doing the right thing? It is a free access tool for the budget season for all our clients. You can gain access on a subscription basis. If you're not a recent year client, you can just pay to have access for a budget season. So it's a great way for you to grab onto your numbers and look at your plan, try to study things and maybe customize things to your liking if you thought what we were doing was a little bit on the conservative side. We try to get it right, but it is your association and your plan. And if you are a reader and want a desktop reference, highly recommend our Understanding Reserves book. You can go on our website and download chapter 1 for free. If you like it, by all means, order the book. It's a great resource. And one that puts a smile on my face is our weekly short 30-minute podcast for boards called HOA Insights, Common Sense for Common Areas. Basically, every week, every Monday, we drop a new episode. We're talking through current, real-life issues, again, on a weekly basis to help you get the encouragement and the information you need to run your association well. Think of us as your little vitamin boost. And you can listen or subscribe from your favorite podcast platform on our YouTube channel or from the podcast's homepage, which is hoainsights.org. And with that, I'll turn the microphone over to Paige, who will coordinate our Q&A time together. At Association Reserves, we make the present less stressful and the future more secure. If you want to join us in this mission, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment down below on what you'd like to see us address in a future video. Let's plan for your best future.